it's Andy Carley here from School Outdoor Learning. This is Seoul Interactive. It's Saturday, the 11th of April, Easter weekend, Easter Saturday, beautiful day, and we're bringing the first of 2 films to you today that we're going to be producing over this weekend. And it's a fantastic activity that you're going to have loads and loads of fun with, and it's called Invisible Maze. Creating mazes is very, very simple, and they are such a versatile resource. So it doesn't get much simpler than looking for areas of flagstones in playgrounds or patio areas in gardens. Just put a rope border around to help with the visualization and to encapsulate the space. Pegs and string on grass, again, work fantastically well. And of course, it doesn't get much simpler than grabbing a big piece of chunky chalk, some straight line edges to draw against, and then creating your mazes and your squares in that particular way. So we've shown you a number of different ways that you can create the mazes, the grids, using chalk or string or just using flagstones, whatever is easiest for you. We tend to use these large, robust tarpaulins, and we just mark out grid lines using a Sharpie pen. They work fantastically well. You can peg them into the ground. They're portable, so you can move them anywhere that you want them. So the rules of maze are really, really simple. The objective is you have a starting row here, and you have a finishing row at the far side. You can start on any of the 8 squares on the starting row, and you have to finish on one of the 8 squares on the finishing row. And essentially, you've got good squares and bad squares, which only you, as the adult facilitator, will know via this maze map. And we'll show you those on the screen now. So we've provided you with 3 quite complex maze journeys to work from, and then there's a 4th sheet which has a blank maze, which obviously you can fill in the gaps for yourself. There are simply 2 types of square, one with a thumbs up and a blank square. The blank squares obviously are a thumbs down, and that's when people need to exit the maze. The thumbs up squares that are green shaded obviously allow the participant to continue, but they are not part of the actual route. So as the adult facilitator, you'll be positioned where the camera is right now, and obviously directing and controlling things. So pretty abundantly clear that as you move on to the maze, the one person that's on the maze can continue to move 1 square in any direction. So that's a square that has a corner or a side adjoining. And you'll see from the routes that that means moving kind of sideways, diagonally, and backwards as well. So there's some really challenging routes in here. You need to make sure that the maze is not marked in any way. So they can't mark it, they can't put objects onto the maze in order to remember good squares from bad squares. And that's kind of part of the challenge, really. And obviously for social distancing reasons, just make sure everybody stays right off the maze, separated out, and only the person whose turn it is will come onto the maze to do the moving. And you can also add in some challenge as well by insisting that no verbal communication happens while people are on the maze. And if they want to talk about their plan and their route, they have to do that when the person retreats off the maze and talk as a group. So that's it in a nutshell, maze. A very, very simple but hugely versatile and really challenging exercise for your young people, and adults come to that. The one thing we love about this exercise is it invokes the F word. No, not that F word, failure. So what it means is children, young people are learning through failure and adaptation and replanning, and that's a hugely powerful piece for them. So building in resilience and tenacity and grit and the degree to which they can continue and persevere with something is really, really important. The other thing just to stress as well is grids, 6x6, 8x8, 10x10 grids provide a wealth of other great learning resources as well. And as these films develop over a number of weeks now, what we'll be starting to do is thinking about the use of grids, tarpaulins, or other grids such as these for curriculum-based teaching and learning as well. It might be literacy, numeracy, geography, all sorts of ways in which these can be used. So we'll be sharing some of those with you over the ensuing weeks.